Hi, folks. With Tacitus today, your pushback channel, and thank you for joining this audio live stream. In this essay, I'd like to talk about the unrelenting stream of hysterical, over-the-top, ridiculous, absurd propaganda filled with lies, deceits, untruths, and the untruths being quite grotesque. But it's omnipresent. It's everywhere. You can't, no matter what direction you look in. This propaganda is in circulation, and every day there are multiple pieces and articles. The coordinated, and it's all coordinated propaganda. There's a central sort of secretariat that approves the talking points of the week or the day or whatever, or on this or that topic. But they're convinced, or not convinced, that they're asserting, quite falsely, of course, that there's some massive right-wing movement going on. Hitler and Nazis are everywhere. Hitler is personally running around. So they don't have any, of course it isn't happening, and they've got no evidence of this. So they have to manufacture evidence or say that a certain event or happening, or even something they've invented, is the beginning of the big fascist Nazi takeover. Now, given that they're all the claims of far right, they instantly return to Nazis and Holocaust. So it gives you a pretty clear idea as to who's behind this propaganda and who's funding it. There's a lot of sort of proxy voices and surrogates that they use to disseminate and disperse it, but the propaganda nonetheless comes from a very Jewish perspective of the world, Jewish activist perspective. So it's inconceivable that they're not prominent in this equation. Now, what are they claiming is far right? Well, remember the globalist sort of mass migration thing is to make sure there is no white majority country anywhere in the world. As far as these propagandas are concerned, any white majority country is a bad thing and is thus a danger to any other group in the world. So a white majority, white majority population itself, that is the intense evil. Whether there's any evil, it doesn't matter. Just the mere existence of a white majority population is in itself a manifestation, as they would see it, of great evil. On the other side, the eradication of all white majority countries is seen as something that's transcends supreme virtue. It is a must, a mandatory end goal here, and anything that might delay or obstruct or repudiate that view that there must be no white majority population countries. Anything that questions that or suggests that there's any move to stop it or to slow it down, that then is attacked as a great evil. So that's the sort of the architecture here, that the thought architecture that we're dealing with. Now, the articles pretty much all follow the same general pattern, which again confirms the evidence, the central secretariat that's scripting it, and the structure of the articles and the pieces, whether they be written or spoken, are all the same. So now there's tenuous evidence, ranging zero evidence to tenuous evidence, that this claim that the far right, which is code for Nazis, are everywhere. So there's a photo of a German young German woman dressed in rural sort of farm girl type clothing, something that you would see in German festivals and that type of stuff. And she's a white girl with blonde hair and that sort of stuff. Now the mere existence of that photo, just that photo, I'm not even sure it's a photo, it may just be an AI concoction, but the mere existence of just that photo of the farm girl there, the German farm girl, that's evidence of fascism. Hitler is back again. Nazis are everywhere. The fascists, the Nazis, the fucking the Holocaust. Just from a photograph of a white German girl. I mean, you're kidding me, right? But this is the thing. It is mandatory that there must be no depictions, whether it be in TV or movies. There must be no depiction anywhere, photographs, media, no depiction anywhere of all white people. there's only one person in the photograph and it's a white person, then that in itself is criminal. That in itself is the Holocaust revisited. Didn't you know 100 billion people have been killed by that photograph? I mean, this is the insanity of these people. Also, sort of a clear indication of their ideological fanaticism. But just the picture of a German farm girl is enough to say that Nazis are everywhere and the Holocaust is bad. Just that. I mean, you're kidding, right? And just to sort of illustrate the sheer absurdity of this, would they say the same thing if there's a photograph of a black person in Africa? No, that's fine. A Chinese person in China? No, that's fine. I don't know, Mongolian person in Mongolia? That's fine. An Eskimo, no, that's fine. Any other population, as long as it's not white, it's completely okay to have those photographs with only black people or only China. Absolutely okay. But there's even a photograph with just a white person, fascist, Nazi, Hitler, Holocaust. And they just go on this hysterical rant. And it just goes to illustrate again the fanaticism of it. Now, there's the same occurred. There was a photograph of like a rural Dutch farm girl, milking the cows type thing. White, and again, fair white girl, young woman, and that got the same treatment. That's it. Hitler, Nazis, fascist, Holocaust. Just from a photograph of a white girl milking a cow. But to them, why do you have a photograph with white people in it? You fucking Nazi. There has to be black lesbians in that photograph. Otherwise, if there isn't any black lesbians photograph, it means Holocaust. Now, these people should be taken away and get forced to take a chill pill, because they're insane to draw such absurd, ridiculous, but ideologically consistent, fanatical parallels of one to the other. For example, we see a photograph of a black person, we go, cannibalism is everywhere. Oh no, run, cannibal. If we see a photograph of a Chinese person, Chairman Mao, they're going to kill 100 people, starve them to death. Well, no. So let's get some consistency and even-handedness here. It's only evil if white people do it. It's fine if anyone and everyone else does it. Only the complete eradication of white majority populations is considered acceptable. So any optics, such as you're never allowed to see a photograph or any depiction of people in a scene that has white majority in it. And if you do, again, entertainment, news, media, anything at all, then that's the Holocaust is back again. That's it. It's simple. So if the insanity of this. So you stub your toe on the sidewalk, or that's it. Cancel leg. Amputate half the body. I mean, no, you wouldn't do that. I mean, that's insane. So, and this thought process, of course, is insane. Now, I've just gathered together 12 pieces, and this is only over the last week or so. Every journalist who penned these pieces is either non-white, Jewish, or LGBTQ if they're white. There isn't a single, and the idea that there's Islamic women who are telling white Europeans what they should and shouldn't be doing with their country, and how their population should or shouldn't be, and the structure of this. Just to give you an idea how insane this is, every article that I read, these dozen articles, by the third paragraph, every article has already invoked Hitler, Nazism, fascism, and Holocaust. Every fucking one. Again, showing sort of who's behind this. But why would you go to that straight away? So, the photograph of the white farm girl. This is the far right. This is the Nazis coming back because there's a white person in a photograph. and then by the third paragraph, talking to Sarah Steinberg, expert on the Holocaust, she says this is typically how it all begins. That Hitler is back in. No, stop. By the third paragraph, you're drawing. So white photograph of white farm girl, and already you're going to the Holocaust. Hitler already has got a gig. Typically, again, by the third paragraph, and often in the first paragraph, the Hitler, Nazi, fascist, Holocaust has already been mentioned. That's it. The photograph of the white farm girl is the Holocaust. So now here's one. Just one I read today. It's got 26 paragraphs. Structurally, they're all the same, by the way. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're being pumped out pretty much by AI. But 26 paragraphs, 22 of those 26 paragraphs contain the phrase far right. So they're obviously trying to by repetition, attempting to make this idea there's far right Nazis everywhere, under every bed, in every closet, around every corner. You never quite see them. They're always just hidden out of view. But gee, they're there. Oh, they're there, just like the Holocaust. So this insanity, we're being bombarded with this. Now let's go on to the other side. Let's suppose there were articles around the place saying that, again, all black people are cannibals or something like that. Would that would be an international furor? But this sort of thing passes not so much under the radar, but it's acceptable discourse. And I would argue that as long as it is across white countries, this is treated as or viewed as or allowed to go. I mean, you could look at it and say, that's insane nonsense. Some silly little shithead is saying that. We'll just ignore it. But no, it's not that. This is too well funded, too well coordinated, and is being pumped out in huge volume. And this needs to be as unacceptable as anti-Semitism. So while there's anti-Semitism czars and not only in the United States, but in places like Australia, and everyone's on the jumpy chip on shoulder thing. That's anti-Semitic. Then we need this same. If that level of jumpiness and touchiness is words lead to hey. If somebody says I don't like the design of that synagogue. Hitler. If there's that sort of level of jumping, let's have it as a uniform. Let's have it as across the board. Because if I look for anti-Jewish articles online, you're lucky to come up with any. But if I look for anti-white articles, the volume, you can't count them. There's so many out there. So I would argue that it's white people are the ones that are being, accused of being Hitler, Nazis, fascists, and far right, and so on and so forth. So that's what we need to I think, as communities, societies, need to address. It's equally as unacceptable to accuse all white people of being Nazis. The 21-year-old rural farm girl milking the cows. That needs to be as unacceptable as well, to just do this blanket, you're a Nazi, you're a fascist, Holocaust. And if you invoke the Holocaust for the idea of smearing white Christian Gentiles, and that's the sole purpose of using it, which it is, by the way, then that too is every bit as bad, in my view, as alleged anti-Semitism. So this is something that we really need. And if we don't do this, if this anti-white, anti-Christian, anti-male, anti-Western society discourse, which is extremely hysterical and negative, and again invokes Hitler and the Holocaust at every turn, if we allow this discourse to continue and not hold it to the same level of accountability as, for example, anti-Semitism or racist comments against, black lesbians or something, unless we do that, then we're creating our own demise, I think, facilitating it, allowing it, that this is, because this is being broadcast in universities, all across the media landscape, in many areas of the body politic. So it has to be, I believe, held to account to that same standard as other so-called forms of racism or oppression are. Now, the idea that no white majority country must remain on the face of the planet, only then will be safe. That too needs to be called out. Or say, well, no Asian majority country, have it uniformly held to this negative. You've been with Tacitus today, your pushback channel, and thank you for listening.